everyone, welcome back to QSR Nation, your weekly source of food service marketing and business strategies for success. Here are your hosts, Josh, Beth, Tony, and Grant from the PFS Brands National Headquarters in Holt Summit, Missouri.
Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to another episode of QSR Nation. As always, we have Josh, Beth, Tony, and Grant coming today from the PFS Brands National Headquarters in Holt Summit, Missouri to talk about food service marketing and business strategies for success.
That introduction is so
just
impressive.
Breathe.
Why are you giggling?
It just screams professionalism.
Yeah, my buddy Grant wrote it.
Grant is the nicest
You're
guy
welcome.
here.
He's probably
He's
like easily the top 25th best copywriter at PFS Brands.
25th.
Yeah.
Wow, thank you
That's,
guys.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, out of 20 people, that's really good ranking.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Josh and I are number one.
I don't know.
Wow.
All right. I mean, you are. I'll bring the average way down. That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh, okay.
Nice save.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, today we're going to have a little fun discussion about, I looked these up off of born2invest.com. That's born2invest.com.
Shout out.
Yep, and hashtag. The 5 characteristics of successful small restaurant owners. And I looked up the 5 here, and I thought it'd be kind of cool to discuss 1 through 5.
Wow.
Yeah, know what I mean?
With
I
no
would really like to
preparation,
just
rapid
see your
fire.
writing. That is
It's
some impressive
It's
writing.
like David Letterman's top 10 list, except it's 5. So
Yeah,
I'm excited.
so it's half of the top 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the top half.
We are numbers people.
All right, so according to born2invest.com, that is a number 2.
Shout
The
out
number
again.
1.
Real quick, before we get started, did you buy stock in their business
No, I
today or
didn't.
something?
Are they providing you free Bitcoin?
They came up on number 1 results for Google, so I was like, well, that must be right. So
Okay.
actually, it's number 2. Anyways, so
Is that number 2?
The number 2. So they purposely don't want to be 1.
let's bring it back together. Okay, so number 1, and Tony, I'd love to hear your opinion on this starting off,
Oh,
is problem-solving skills.
I'll be back in 10.
Yeah. Yeah, let's just talk about why that would be important to a restaurant owner.
Well, for one, you need to make sure that you have the ability to quickly and correctly make decisions based on personnel, because that a lot of times drives a lot of what's going on in your business, from your wait staff to your front of the house manager, back of the house manager. Sometimes you're both, but you've got to be able to make quick and accurate decisions. So you kept it under 10 minutes.
Yeah, that was good, yeah. You speak so quietly, though, when you're talking to the
I
mic, and
don't
most of the time
know.
you're yelling at the office.
Any other time.
Does anyone have anything else to add to the problem-solving skills?
Yeah, that actually does. This happened recently with one of the stores I was working with. But just as an example, whenever customers bring in coupons or have some sort of text offer, or it could be direct mail, however they got it, and they bring it to the register, and to get the coupon for $1 off, it's if there isn't a button on your POS system to actually capture that discount, the employee still needs to at least work on the fly or work quickly to make sure that they still reward that customer for the discount offer that they got, and that could be the reason why they came into the store.
Huh.
So that's one spot where they have to think on the fly and solve problems, because you want to reward that customer for the coupon that they had. So.
Well, and likewise, even if it's expired, I mean, I've told people for a long time that make sure that even if they are expired, honor them.
Yeah. Yeah, you always say that. I've heard you say it like 12 times.
Yeah, this is number 13.
I'm gonna say, yeah,
Not number 2, but number 13.
For sure.
We also bring up add value. But I think this is the perfect situation. You're getting ready to say something, sorry. But, a lot of time it is about the whole conversation of you can teach book smarts, but you can't teach common sense. And when you are looking for your employees, that should definitely be something whenever just, having normal conversation, asking them how would they problem solve a situation like this versus a situation like that. And it kind of gives you an idea about each of your employees of how they're going to think quickly on their feet and make sure that they're going to solve those problems, and they're going to be able to help those customers in an efficient manner. And it's going to also not deteriorate the business's name, but it'll also just be able to help you in the long run and understanding how they're going to be working.
Yeah, for sure. I'm glad Grant and Beth didn't even listen to the question, because it's about restaurant owners, not employees. But that is also true, because that can be for restaurant employees and owners.
Well, they have to train their employees.
That's right.
Yes.
And as the owner, you can't be everywhere. So you do have to have, that
Thank you for
nimble
listening to me,
staff.
though, Tony. I appreciate
It's okay,
that.
man.
Thanks for
I got
having our
you.
back, though, Anthony. I appreciate it.
No problem. You know.
All
Is
right.
that a bus?
All right, number 2. Beth, you can take lead on this one. 'Cause this is a great one.
I wanna-
Yeah, you're going to dominate it.
Oh, I'm gonna
Number
dominate
2 of the top 5 characteristics of successful small restaurant owners by borntoinvest.com. That is a 2.
it. 2.
Number 2 is customer service savvy.
Oh, this is right up my alley. You guys can come back in 50 minutes. No, I'm joking. So, especially when it comes to customer service, how you want to be treated, it's the golden rule. You have to make sure that you're going to be having employees, also the restaurant owners, whenever you are working with any of your employees or your customers, treat them how you want to be treated. If you were... Thank you. It's really, it's the most basic thing that you can do. Yeah. But, you are going to be the face of the company, and you're going to be the one that everyone's going to be looking after for that way of how they're going to be treating their customers. If you do not treat your employees well, then they're not going to be treating their customers well. So you have to make sure that no matter what, you're setting a good example for what you want everyone in your company and for your customers to see.
Well, I think that's really important because the customer is not always right. But you still have to have the right example set.
So true.
Well, I mean, that's just the bottom line. And a lot of people don't want to talk like that because it's straight talk and it's not fluff. Fluff is, we'll just do whatever. It's not just do whatever. You have to make it make sense. But you also have to do it in a manner that doesn't escalate a problem, create additional exposure. And if they are truly wrong, think about it as an investment to take care of somebody. Let them win. Let them get over on you if you need to, as long as it is, a one-time scenario, so you're not setting a precedent. But, make sure your staff, when they're looking at you, they see someone who is handling the situation in the right way, even if the customer isn't right.
For sure. Yep. Anything to add to that, Grant?
Well, I'm just thinking back to my coupon example again. That was about providing that good customer service.
So true.
And then everything else that Beth said was pretty fitting, but I'm hoping now that my first example works for all 5 of these traits. So let's see what the next one is.
I like
Grant's
it.
like, I just don't want to think. I've got a story to tell, and my God, I'm going to tell it.
Grant, you're up now because from number 3,
How do
top
coupons
5
work?
characteristic of successful small restaurant owners, according to this website I found, born2invest with us, number2.com. Number 3 is, and I think this is a really good one for you, Grant, because you were like the ultimate at this, knowledge of restaurant marketing.
Oh, wow. I am the expert of that, yeah. No,
Wow.
That surprises me, too.
yeah. Obviously, I mean, that would be very important for the business owner to have that knowledge of restaurant marketing and making sure they know which mediums that they need to be focusing on in the market that they are in. So right now, obviously, social media or any type of digital marketing is probably going to be pretty useful just because everybody's on their phones these days. But depending on which city they're in or what town, and depending on the high schools that they have in their area, they may want to do sponsorships there as well. So, but yeah, having just that knowledge is definitely going to prove useful.
Yeah, for sure. I kind of go back to the digital thing you said on the radio on the way to work this morning. They said there was a new study out that said teenagers spend an average of 7 hours on their phone. It's just crazy to me.
Yeah.
A
That's
week or a
all
day?
while they're
A day.
A day?
That's all while they're in school instead of learning stuff. They're just on their phone looking at stuff.
Yeah.
Verifying if what the teacher said was correct. Did Siri agree?
That's just mind-blowing.
That's terrifying that's where they're getting their information and their news. Ugh.
Well, and that's why, we talk to restaurant owners all the time that say they don't want a digital presence because, what if someone says something bad or inaccurate or, a false representation of a scenario. You know what? I mean, that stuff's happening out there. Whether
That's
you
the
are
exact reason why you need to be out
yeah,
there.
whether you're participating actively or not is really the decision. Now, is it happening?
Yeah, for sure.
And when you have people who are the next group, this Gen Z that's going to be the largest group basically ever to control the economy coming up, if they're spending 7 hours a day on their phone now, I mean that's just going to increase based on the lifestyles and the habits and all the things that we're doing that's so mobile. So definitely do not sit back and think you're going to not be have a role in that, not be on the digital. You are out there, whether you chose to not. Google created you a page, Yelp created you a page, Facebook created you a page. You have a digital presence. It's about whether or not you're actively engaging in that and controlling your story.
Yeah, for sure though. And then, but I kind of think about it though. I'm not trying to chide them or anything, but I probably spend 10 hours on a screen a day at least with work.
If you count,
Yeah.
if you count computer, yeah, I'm on.
sure.
I mean,
The majority of your day is probably spent behind a screen.
you're looking at a screen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, this will kind of go into number 4. We'll throw it back to Tony. Start off again. Number 4, top 5 characteristics of a successful small restaurant owner. I'm not saying the name again. Is deep knowledge of customer psychology, and that kind of goes hand in hand with the whole marketing aspect of it.
Well, it does, and there's things that not everyone's going to be a marketing expert. So go out and get yourself someone to be that expert for you, to consult you.
Like Grant.
Like
Schulte.
Grant. Yeah.
You can contact him at.
Yep.
But it's just one of those things. I mean, from the colors that you choose for your logo, for your advertisements, the words. I mean, I like to utilize the phrase you're invited on like grand opening things and stuff to try and make it more of an inclusive thing versus come in, which is more of a command. You look at those different things, weigh those different words, those different colors and things out, because the psychology of an ad or of a marketing strategy is really key, because that will usually dictate the level of engagement and the type of engagement that you have.
Anthony, what's your least favorite color to use?
I would say.
Oh, go ahead, guess.
Especially especially when using numbers and stuff.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be red for him.
It's going to be red. That's
Yeah,
exactly
I don't
right.
like red.
Good thing one of our major brands. Is
Yeah.
I-
So here's the thing: grabbing attention for like a logo, I like red. Whether it's Champ's Chicken, McDonald's,
Yeah.
even Pizza Hut.
Especially in food service, red is supposed to like kind of.
Yeah, I mean, it
create
stands
hunger or
out,
something.
and pops. But I like utilizing a lot of blues because it conveys trust. And if I'm in a high traffic area and I've got to grab someone's attention, and I'm not worried necessarily about the brand messaging and stuff, but I just need to grab attention, make people look. I like black letters on yellow because it's quick and it's cautionary, so people are looking at it because it matches up with traffic signs.
Like with the Waffle Houses.
There you go.
Yeah.
Love me some Waffle House.
You just sound very good.
Yeah.
We're not close enough to an interstate for Waffle House.
Yeah. That sucks.
All right, let's
Way to
move
bring it
on
down.
to the final characteristic, number 5 of the top 5 characteristics of successful small restaurant owners, according to borntoinvest.com.
Owners with a
Number
2.
2. Number 5, and this is going to Beth because I just think she's a great leader. So leadership is number 5. Would you like to discuss or just sit there and all?
I kind of have to just sit here and I've never been told that.
Just take it in. Take it in.
Well, I think the number one thing that I always like to say is, as a leader, you always want to be a servant leader. You don't necessarily just want to be a commanding leader. And having those charismatic personalities and then also those traits, they're going to make people want to learn from you. Opening up your business and opening up all of the knowledge that you have to be able to pass it on to your employees, because you know what? They're going to be the ones that are going to help make you look better. And the more knowledge and skill set that you can pass down to them, not only just makes you a better leader, but it also helps them in their future and help them become better leaders as well for the future of America.
Wow, really got patriotic there at the end.
I think you can make an argument that leadership is the most important one of the 5, right?
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
if these were listed in order.
I don't think
I
they
would,
were.
I would
Just-
probably
just
just say
top 5.
arbitrary.
But I mean, if you don't have, you
Yeah.
could be good at the other 4 things, but if you don't have good leadership, then I mean, you might be okay, but
Yeah.
you're definitely not going to be as good as what you can.
And that
be.
brings me to one of my other questions regarding that. What is the hardest one of these top 5 to improve? And I would say, you can learn about marketing, you can
Yep.
learn about customer psychology. I'd say leadership. You can improve on it, but it would probably is the hardest one that takes the most effort to improve.
Oh,
on.
100%.
agree.
Yeah.
with
Yeah,
that.
because I think a lot of times your leadership style can actually either reflect or combat your personality. If you are a commanding, strong individual, you may be a lot less apt to be open to feedback and listen. We had Alex Materi on as a guest a while back, and he talked about, if you think you're a boss in today's world, you're in trouble because you should really be a coach. And, he talked about how he's able to increase the longevity of his team by being that type of coach, and then taking that mentorship type of a thing. And I believe, I may be misquoting it, I think it was Richard Branson, though, that had the quote about what if we invest in people and what if they leave?
Yeah.
And you say, well, what if they stay?
What if they stay, yeah.
I mean, you always want to make people, I think, I don't want to, this is going to maybe come out wrong, but dispensable, just because of the fact that if you've trained them well enough that you could promote them or lose them if they left you, and you've got the person behind them trained well enough to step up, you're always going to be in a good position. And like Beth said, that servant leadership, it's rare. A lot of people talk it, a few people walk it, and I think that getting in there and not being afraid of who's going to get one over on you or who's going to take your style and open across the street. I mean, if you're living in that type of leadership, chances are, you either have maybe a pathetic existence or a close opportunity to closing doors.
Drop that bomb.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and that's my take on it.
Yeah.
I think that, the best leaders I've ever encountered have been the ones who shared what made them great so that I could take the things that they did well and the things that other leaders around me have done well, and then absorb that and then, hopefully emulate those things so that someone can stand behind me and say, okay, well, this is what he does wrong, but this is what he does well, and take that. So I think it's a continuous opportunity to just always feed, always improve, and always build people up to the point that they wouldn't want to leave.
Yeah, for sure. But that begs the question there as well. How do you improve your leadership skills? Is it by finding a mentor like you mentioned, or is it actually being in the battlefield every day, just, having people to manage, or can you learn by books, or is it all a combination of everything?
I think it's a combination
Yeah,
of all that.
definitely.
I
think it's a
agree.
combination.
Reading, going to conferences, all those types of things.
But finding that mentor that's going to help you and kind of hone in on your skill set that you do have and we talked a lot about the Colby test and your different strength finders and everything else, but learning how to improve on your skills that you already have and your strengths, not necessarily always focusing in on the things that you need to improve on, because your skill set is what's going to be able to be passed on and what's going to make you a true leader. And those skills are what other people look up to you for. So make sure that you do have that mentor that can kind of help you with that.
And I've known restaurant owners who were really great at a lot of things, but their people skills sucked. But they were successful because what they did is they realized that was an area that they were really, really lacking in. And so they went out and they found people and they paid them well and they treated them well to run their front of house, their back of house, that were strong people.
People.
They were people. And
no, people person.
But because they knew that wasn't an area that, even if they worked super crazy hard at, they were probably never going to be as good as they wanted to be.
Yeah.
And so rather than focus all their energy and time on that weakness, they hired people to fill that gap to really create a balanced team.
Sure. Well, one last question.
Oh boy.
Bonus question.
Yeah, this is
A
a
bonus round.
So let's go back through 1 through 5 real quick. Problem-solving skills, customer service savvy, knowledge of restaurant marketing, deep knowledge of customer psychology, and leader. So those are the 5 that this website listed out. Is one of them that you were expecting to be on there, not on there? Is anything missing, I should say?
Honestly, the top 5, if that is what they think the top 5 are, the customer psychology I would never have actually put on that list. I think it was a good thing. I mean, it's very, very important, but I never would have thought that would have been the
Yeah,
top
to me that
5.
really goes with marketing kind of hand in hand.
Yeah,
obviously.
exactly.
So, I mean, they kind of broke it apart, which I understand.
I agree with that. I mean,
I'm trying to think of one, but
there's nothing that relates to a coupon grant.
I know how to
It
get
reminds me
coupons.
this time.
that ended after the question 2. But it had a good run.
Well, I think the one thing that was missing glaringly to me on that is business literacy. You can be an amazing, passionate restaurant owner, and you can be a great chef and have the best intentions in the world. But if you don't have business literacy to understand how to keep your doors open, none of that other stuff's going to really matter.
Yeah.
So
I
I think
probably should have read the entire article. It might have been because a lot of these are like natural inherent skills you just have. Like some people are just better than problem solvers. Some people just know when it comes to customer savvy that you just know people better than other people. But the only one here that really is something you can really learn is restaurant marketing.
Yep.
So all
Right.
these other ones are just like you can also get these skills, but some people are stronger than others though.
Right.
So cool. Well, see, I like when we do this, guys, and you guys never like when I just randomly bring in stuff to
You're
talk about.
Welcome to the studio, pop quiz.
Keeps things interesting.
This is where I get the anxiety.
Well,
Not
but
a good test taker.
if you have any questions for us, you can reach out to us at qsrnation@pfsbrands.com. What else we got? Oh, yeah. Subscribe to the podcast at pfsbrands.com/podcast.
You can also find us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Follow all of the happenings with QSR Nation.
Yeah, for sure. And it is a Halloween season. Brant brought candy corn in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Candy
gross.
corn,
So
peanuts,
comment,
and
send us emails how gross you think it is or how much you like it. That'd be
Exactly. And what are you going to be for
cool.
Halloween? Tell us what you are.
Yeah, we can't
Yeah,
tell
'cause-
these
Yeah, I
other
know.
guys, though. 'cause-
Yeah, this is.
Grant Anthony, what are you going to be for Halloween?
Oh, it's easy. Not part of your group anymore, apparently.
Oh.
Well,
Yeah.
as things turn here, thanks for listening to QSR Nation. We'll talk to you next week.
Boo.
Good podcast.
Today's episode is brought to you by Champs Chicken. For deals, discounts, and updates, check out champschicken.com/connect. Be sure to stop by next week for another episode of QSR Nation. And be sure to check us out online at pfsbrands.com/podcast.